We go, hello, awesome authors. How are you doing? This is my very first live into the Answering the Call to Write Facebook group since the beginning of the year. So I don't want to say Happy New Year because we are already in February, but I've taken some time out to really just pray into the new year. There are some exciting things that we have in store for everybody that's part of this group, and some exciting things that's coming. So stay tuned, come and check in regularly so you can stay up to date with what's happening. Um, I am really, really excited about 2024, and I know that many of you have a message, have a story that is so important. And I just wanted to come on today, first of all, to officially say hello and to come and encourage those of you who feel like what you have is maybe not as significant as you think it is. And I want to tell you today that it is even more significant than what you can dream or imagine. I have been spending some time just really meditating, pondering, thinking about the um, miracle that Jesus did when he fed the 5,000. And I've been thinking about that little boy that walked up to the disciples to offer his 5 loaves and 2 fish. And I've been thinking about how, in a crowd of 5,000 adult men, so there was even more people because that number didn't include the women and the children. But this one little boy came and offered his 5 loaves and 2 fish. I wonder how many adults were were in that group and who were holding on to their snacks or their meals or the little bit of food that they had with them. I mean, can you imagine? There must have been more people who had something with them. I mean, in a crowd of 5,000, surely there was someone that had a bit more sustenance that could add to this little boy's gift. Um, Maybe they were afraid that if they gave it up, they would have nothing for themselves and they would go hungry. Or perhaps they felt like if I give my little bit, it's going to look insane. It's going to look like madness. Why would I give a little bit of food to solve a big problem, right? I only have this little bit. And as I was reading it, it really kind of spoke to my heart because so many times we can prejudge the sustenance, the bread, the the life that we have to offer, the life that we have to share with someone who is hungry. So I want to ask you, are you holding back because you're judging the value of what you have to offer? If that's you today, I want to really speak into your heart. I want to speak courage. I want to speak life. And I want to remind you that it is not your job to multiply or make it bigger than it is. It is simply your job to put it in the hands of Jesus. He will do the multiplication. I love the fact that Jesus asks the disciples, how are we going to feed them? Where are we going to get food? He already knew what he was going to do. He already knew he was going to multiply, but he asked the disciples, what are you going to do to feed them? And I feel like often Jesus asks us to partner with him, to bring our little bit so that we can put it in his hands and work with him to reach the people who really need those words of life. Um, I know firsthand, what it feels like to keep second guessing and keep wondering whether what I have is enough. Is it enough? Am I going to look foolish if I share my story? Am I going to look foolish if I create this little children's book? You know, um, I remember just before I published Untangled, I was in the process of writing the book, and I had a conversation with someone um, who didn't see the value in what I had to offer. And in a very indirect way, but very clearly made it known that it wasn't really significant enough. It wasn't enough. And it really messed with my heart and with my head. And I remember standing in church one morning, worshiping, and I had this incredible encounter with the Lord. I saw myself as a 3-year-old just lying by the feet of Jesus, creating all these paper crowns. I had glitter and fake gems and feathers and stickers and coloring pens, and I was just making these crazy paper crowns. I had so much fun making them. But as I handed them to Jesus and I saw the delight on his face as he took these paper crowns and he put them on his head, it was such a joy. I couldn't wait to just make the next crown and give it to him and see him parade it and look like it is that crown is made of rubies and gold and diamonds. It just, I could just see Jesus really value what I had made. And as he put these crowns on his head, I saw him give them to the Father, and the Father was lighting these crowns like those paper lanterns in the movie Tangled. And if you know anything about my story, I had a crazy encounter with God as I watched the movie Tangled. And I saw the Father take these paper crowns from Jesus and lighting them and sending them out into the night sky like lanterns. And these lanterns were calling his lost daughters home. Like, I think that we so often can feel like the light inside of us is little. You know, we even grow up singing, "This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine." And I love this quote from Ted Dekker, that amazing author. He has one of these trailers for one of his books, and in this trailer he asks the question, "Who said your light is little?" You do not have a little light inside of you. You have the same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead inside of you. Jesus himself said that you are the light of the world, that you should be a city on a hill displayed for all to draw them unto Jesus, to draw them unto the solution. Sometimes we can feel like we have to be this significant person who's accomplished much. But you know, as I read that chapter in John 6, I was astonished because I looked like I looked for the different stories, the different accounts of feeding the 5,000, and I couldn't find the little boy in Matthew, and I couldn't find the little boy in Mark, to the point where I thought, oh my goodness, did I remember this correctly? Was there even a little boy? And he does make an appearance in the book of John, but ever so briefly. You know, he wasn't significant, but he had sustenance. He had something that could feed a crowd if it was placed in the hands of Jesus. Sometimes we need to stop overthinking what we have and put our focus on the one who can multiply it beyond what we can ever dream or imagine. So I want to encourage you to find your joy in worshiping Jesus with your gift of writing, and just trust him with multiplying what you have and getting it into the hands of the people and into their hearts, the people who need it most. I had an amazing end to 2023. I had somebody contact me from another country, from Canada, and they had been doing my Bible reading plan on the love of the Father, the extravagant love of the Father. And it was amazing to see that, or to meet somebody who really needed and was hungry for that message of God's love, and that God used that tiny little reading plan to touch her heart, and to create an opportunity for her to connect with him. That was incredible. I was so blessed. I remember that evening after I came off the call with this beautiful family, I said to my husband, if I had written my book just for her, it would have been 100% worth it. So don't let fear hold you back. Don't let like a prejudging the value of what you carry. Don't let that hold you back from offering your 5 loaves and your 2 fish. You have no idea what God can do. If he can feed 5,000 people with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, imagine what he can do with your story. So join the group, you know, buy the course, learn what to do, you know, get into a community of people who can support you, can help you get that message on the inside of you out into the world. You don't have to go at it alone. I am so grateful for the people that I had the privilege of walking with and working with, and I couldn't publish my book or all the books I've written without them. So I just want you to know that this is a place for you to come and share where you are on the journey, to get the encouragement that you need, get the questions answered that you have. We really want to come alongside you and support you. So let me know how you're doing. You know, comment and tell us, engage with the content in this group. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. We have some amazing people that's going to share their journeys with us in this next season of the Answering the Call to Write podcast. I'm so thrilled to share their wisdom, their journeys, and their stories with you. Yeah. So I just declare a blessing on your book, as whether you've written it or you haven't written it. You know, on that note, you know, some of us may have already written and published our books, and I want to challenge you. What are you doing with that book? You know, just because you have written your book and you've published it, it doesn't mean it's going to actually reach the intended audience, right? You have to steward your story. You have to steward that message. So, you know, there are some challenges ahead this year. And I pray that God will give you supernatural wisdom of how to take that message, how to steward it, how to market it, how to get it into the hands and the hearts of people who need it most. If you have any questions, if there's anything I can help you with, please comment. Let us know what you need. If you have any questions, please ask them. Yeah, so I release that just a multitude of blessings on your book, and I declare that in God's hands, that message will be multiplied, and it will go places where you could have never even dreamed, hoped, or imagined. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.